often say that finding your connection is the most important part of your class. Let's come back to connection. This video is just about establishing your T-zone. So we're going to begin lying on our back. Now as we're lying on our back, we have bent knees. If you want to pop a pillow or a towel underneath the head just to float the head in neutral, by all means you can do so here. Now I've re-established a strong connection to my feet. I'm aligning my second toe to my knees and my hip bones. And my legs are not far apart, nor are they slid out far from my glutes. I make sure that my feet are maybe 1 or 2 feet paces forwards. My shoulders are relaxed and I've got my spine in neutral. So just to go over some essentials here, if I was to tip my hips back and release the lumbar spine to the mat, that would be me imprinting my back, flexing through my lower spine, and here my pelvis is not floating in neutral. If I was to roll my hips forwards and tilt my lower back away from the mat, I'm coming into a forwards pelvic tilt and I'm arching through my lumbar spine. So this again is not floating in neutral. When I think about neutral spine, I do have a small space in my lumbar spine between the gap, mat and me, which is neutral, yes, but more specifically my hip bones, as well as my pubic bone, is creating a beautiful triangle floating at the front of my pelvis. And both these bones are level. So from hip bone to hip bone, I've got a level pelvis. One hip bone is not higher than the other. And I've also got my pubic bone softly floating at the same level as my hip bones. From this point is where you'll find the best connection to your T-zone. Now bring your hands onto the front of your hips, onto your bony projections, your ASIS. You're going to walk your fingers 1 inch inside of those hip bones and then bring the fingers maybe 1 inch lower. So you should be in a soft section of your abdominals. It's just below your belly button and it's not on your pubic bone itself. It's in that soft shelf between the two sides. Now at the moment with everything off, you'll notice everything is soft and like jelly, 2 bowls of jelly. When you switch on, you can anticipate that this will become tight and this is where you'll find your connection. So dig your fingers in nice and deep. Now I want you to imagine that you're placing a straw between your lips. You're going to inhale through the paper straw and inflate through your lungs. So as you inhale, you're going to think about lifting or squeezing the front and back passage muscles. So those muscles control the weeing, pooing and letting go of gas throughout your day. So you want to try and connect to those lower muscles. They are the lowest muscles of the core connection, and we're starting at the very base of your connection here, your pelvic floor. So as you inhale, that squeeze of front and back passage and lift is what connects you to your pelvic floor. If you dig your fingers in, you should find a little twinkle, is what we call it, and your first level of tightness. As you softly let those muscles go, you should notice you go back to jelly. Do that again, you take your inward breath. Softly lift your front and back passage muscles, squeezing and lifting to connect to pelvic floor. Dig your fingers in deep, keep breathing. Now as you hold that connection on and breathe in and out deeply, you may be able to feel that level of tightness through the twinkle. We're going to softly let it go, and we feel our ball of jelly reappear. Let's add on to that connection. So, placing the short straw between the lips, we're going to inhale, softly squeeze the front and back passage muscles, gently lift on up. Now this connection is not 100%, it's not everything that you've got. It's not even 50%. You're going to tailor this connection to a small amount. We're looking at a 30 to 25%. Now with this connection on, we're going to exhale. Think about the ribs deflating, sinking in and down. And now you're going to think about zippering up to a pair of skinny denim jeans. So you're going to zipper on up from pubic bone to belly button. And then to do that button up over the hip bones, you're going to need to flatten your abdominals, not your lower back, we're staying in neutral, from hip bone to hip bone, to get the hip bones to narrow closer together, and you can do the button up. Think about that imagery for me and let's go back into connecting to T-zone. Fingers in the bowl of jelly. You're going to inhale, softly squeeze front and back passage muscles and lift. That magic 25 to 30%. Then on the exhale, zippering in to those skinny denim jeans, and exhaling, ribs sink in and down as we button up over the hip bones. Keep your connection on, fingers in your bowls. They're no longer jelly. You should feel you have a band of muscles switched on. You can breathe in and out deeply, keeping this connection. You're not pressing the lower back into the mat. Good, breathing in and out deeply. Hold the connection for a few breaths and then gently allow it to switch off. Now you can practice your connection, just switching on to pelvic floor and the transverse band, remaining in neutral throughout the spine. That's a nice way to tailor your connection, and it also establishes how long you can stay switched on with conscious effort without losing it. Now throughout the class, we might ask you to stay on for maybe 10 seconds, 10 to 12 reps of an exercise. There are some times where you may find that your connection can stay on a little bit longer and you may string 2 exercises together. That's usually after you've gotten a little bit stronger and mindful of your connection. Whatever you do, you want to work from this conscious effort, so don't try and strain through the exercises without locating the pelvic floor or adding in the flattening of those transverse abdominals, which is the band of muscles that we connected to with the fingertips in the jelly. Whatever you do, make sure you can come back to this video whenever you need. It's going to be available permanently on our public site.